Hey, Process Pros, good morning. Today, I want to talk about a best practice that I recently shared with a user about how granular you should be mapping your processes. It's a question that comes up all the time. What do I create? Do I create the granular map or do I create the high level map? Do I create both? How do I create both? And my opinion is that both a high level map and a low level map serve different purposes, clearly. The low level map, in my mind, should map out processes as if each step is only using one tool. The reason why I think one step should be assigned to one tool is because the granular map is really, it's an opportunity to understand how all of your systems work together. So if the objective, for instance, to diagram processes is to identify places where you could automate things, then of course we want to understand where work stops in Typeform and starts in Clay, or work starts in Beehive or Webflow and goes into Beehive. Because once you map out your processes where each step only has one tool assigned to it, it makes it really easy to identify opportunities where you're like, well, why am I doing these two steps manually? Maybe I do need to inject a Zapier step here so that this is automated. And it's happened many times for me where I'll be mapping a process and I actually won't realize that there's an opportunity for automation until I see it. And that's ultimately why I would recommend mapping your granular maps out with each step only assigned to one step. So you can see this is my granular map right here. And there's just tons of system steps that happen across Zapier and Clay. And I use, Adio, my CRM, and Intercom, which is where my product adoption type of stuff goes. And I have a high level map. So I come to this map really to make decisions about how I'm going to be automating and making things more efficient. But then I have the high level map over here. And look how simple this is. So if someone wants to just get a very high level understanding of how the puzzle operations works, I will show them. I'll say, well, we run some paid campaigns and we have our organic social. And both of those things lead to the homepage where there's a Google Tag Manager, the same fill out demo step as my granular map, and all of the major milestones of what a user would go through to ultimately get to getting a puzzle subscription, for instance. And so this is an example of what a high-level map would look like. And you can see I'm actually using alias step for this high-level map. So I'm not even recreating the documentation itself. I'm just creating the step and then making it an alias step, because an alias step allows you to reference an existing step in another part of your documentation, and it will go ahead and display all of the inputs right here, and it's actually two-way synced. And so you don't necessarily have to have every step represent a separate tool in this flow. The high-level map is really used to maybe walk through a vendor, walk them through understanding how the basics of your organization works, or you have a new hire and you just want to give them a quick big picture of how the operations works before they go into the granular map and find their specific steps in the process that they're responsible for. That's the idea behind the high level map. And I typically spend all my time in the granular map. And if we're going to walk this path of building diagrams so that we can transform our organization using automation and AI, which I think is really everyone's objective here, is how can we use our tools better to become more efficient and grow with less headcount? That's really what the objective here, while maintaining quality of service. That's what we're all here to do. And so I come to my granular map and I use this as a roadmap for understanding where I can insert automation and AI to make my tools talk to each other better and create a better customer experience. So this is kind of just a riff talking about the best practices of how I would recommend using puzzle in terms of how granular do you actually map your systems. There's a whole nother level of granularity when you talk about a specific Zapier, for instance, because a Zap has a collection of actions, and like, should you map out all of those actions here in this map? What you could do there is you could create a low-level map, right? So you could actually have a high-level map, a kind of a process map, a proper process map, and then a low-level diagram. And the low-level diagram would be more so like a collection of sections that you reference. So if you wanted documentation in puzzle for this step here, you would just put in here, hey, go see this section for granular steps. And you could link the specific section, because in puzzle, every object, every step, every section has a unique link as a URL. So you can copy this and say, oh, pretending this is another section in another place, I'm going to go ahead and sync this over to where if I click on that thing, it would bring me straight to that section, and that section would represent the granular steps within the Zap. So there's that level of documentation. To be frank, I don't do that level of documentation. Oftentimes I work at this level of abstraction right here, where one Zap equals one step. And if I do want to reflect that there's data going to other systems, I create the step right next to the Zap. And you'll notice that this is one of the steps in this Zap, create a lead in intercom right here. But I reflect it here as intercom as the receiving system of the Zap. So that's kind of how I think about making sure that I'm, making it clear that this Zap is doing something and then this other system is receiving it, because it's very likely that there's another automation. In this case, there is, that I'm looking into, that goes off of this previous step, which actually is in the Zap. So there's all kinds of kind of ways that you could go about this, but there's really 3 layers here. There's the high-level map. There is the proper process map, where one Zap equals one step. And then there's the granularities. And you can see that I kind of blend the granularities into my proper process map, and you can get away with it without having to map every single step in a specific Zap. So those are my thoughts. If you all have thoughts about how you think about maps, and maps for training, and maps for client walkthroughs, and maps for system builders and such, let me know. Go ahead and comment, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks.